Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And like I always say, if you're new to the channel and you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit the bell notification. I'm going to get right into it. This question comes from a young man from Iowa. And the question is, DELRAY, I've recently seen your video with the art of dialogue on the paperwork involving Tupac not being signed to death row. Could you tell me how it is that Interscope Records actually allowed Atlantic Records to have a power of attorney also and not give death row the power of attorney along with that, since Tupac was recording under death row? Why wouldn't Interscope give death row the power of attorney like they gave Atlantic Records? That's a great question. You see what I mean? This is what I call somebody who actually listened to the video that me and the Art of Dialogue did, sat down, went and found the paperwork, and did their research, and read it to comprehend it, not just to respond to me. You understand what I'm saying? Or respond to what they thought would have been some kind of untruth or you know, some kind of lie or something like that, because we don't do that over here. We just dealing with the facts, right? And so let me get into that. I'm gonna get into it right away and what he's talking about to answer his question. So check this out. First, I got it because most people didn't know this. This is new information. See, I didn't cover this aspect of the agreement. I wanted people to come out because I knew that we would have a lot of people come out, you know, trying to debunk what we were saying, trying to say that what we were saying wasn't true, trying to say that Tupac's rights were given to death row by Interscope, which is simply not true. There is no information or paperwork or documentation stating anything or any such thing involving that. In fact, it is the opposite. And I'm going to get into all of that. And then I also have something involving Suge Knight's current situation in the power of attorney that he gave to his fiancée. And I'm going to show you how that works. People having the right to do certain things and who has the power and control. Let me get right into it. Listen to this. I never read this part. Listen. Attached hereto is Exhibit A, is a copy of the guarantee of the Atlantic Recording Corporation, the guarantee. The guarantee will be submitted to the court in conjunction with Shakur's bail arrangements. Remember, I told you that it was submitted to the court, and here's the part where it says that. I did not read this before. This is new information. In the event that Atlantic is required to pay any monies, the Atlantic expenditures, pursuant to the said guarantee, Shakur and ODG Records each hereby agrees to pay Atlantic promptly upon its payment of any Atlantic expenditures. Any amount equal to the Atlantic expenditures, and to secure such obligation, each hereby assigns Atlantic and consents to the recoupment of such amount of the Shakur income up to and including the actual amount of the Atlantic expenditures. In connection with such assignment, Shakur and ODG Records each hereby grants Atlantic a power of attorney, irrevocable and coupled with an interest to execute on behalf of Shakur and ODG Records any and all such documents necessary to effectuate such assignment. Each of Shakur and ODG Records agrees to execute and deliver such further documents and instruments, and to do so such other acts and things as Atlantic may reasonably request from time to time to fully effect the purposes of this agreement and such assignments. This is the very important part because it doesn't say death row. It says who can guarantee this. Additionally, Interscope hereby guarantees the obligations of Shakur and ODG Records to reimburse Atlantic for the Atlantic expenditures. Atlantic agrees that if Interscope pays any monies under the foregoing guarantee, Atlantic will cause Interscope to be fully subrogated to all of Atlantic's rights, including without limitation to the assignment by Atlantic of its security interest in the Shakur income. You get it? So basically what that says is Interscope had the power to guarantee that Atlantic would be able to get their money back for the expenditures and the corporate guarantee that they had put up for Tupac's bail. Another thing, once again, all of this paperwork, as you can see in this agreement that was duly signed by Tupac Shakur, Atlantic Records, Interscope Records, you can see that all of this information was submitted to the court because Tupac had a cash bail. So they put up the corporate guarantee, which was basically equivalent to cash. It was $1.4 million, right? So now, when you understand all of this information, right, you understand that Tupac, number one, had to pay all of the money back. Tupac, number two, was under his own record label, right? Despite everything you heard, Shakur and ODG Records, Out the Gutter Records, basically had to reimburse Atlantic as well as Interscope for the expenditures that they had put up for his bail. But now, let me give you something involving Suge Knight, and then I'm going to come back to this to finish it up for you, right? Like I said, once again, and then, you know, because you had people out there calling me names, you know, groupie this and so on and so forth. But I'm going to address that real fast, real quick. Groupies don't have platinum and gold plaques on their wall that they recorded with Tupac. Also, the game had sampled, Eminem had sampled my Tupac's record for the documentary on the song We Ain't, which did 5 million units. The bottom award down there is the LA Music Award. I won that twice for being the best hip hop and R&B artist in all of Los Angeles. You understand what I'm saying? Groupies don't make the front page of the newspaper. You know what I mean? For the work that they put in. Real dudes do that. You understand what I'm saying? And furthermore, the people that are calling me a groupie, you've made videos of me and my work with Art of Dialogue trying to act as if you had evidence or information contrary to the information that we put out when you actually didn't. When actually your motive was to try to capitalize off of the truth that we were giving the people and acting as if you had something to rebut what we said. You see, that's the funny part. But so you made a whole video about a groupie. Nah, I think not. I think that you were on to the fact that we are making power moves. You understand what I'm saying? And so, therefore, let me jump on the bandwagon, right? But that is what that is. But like I said, in totality, yeah, I am who I say I am. And nothing you can say can change that. Your boy DELRAY. Check this out. Now, let me get into the actual fact of the matter in regards to Suge Knight, right? In power of attorney. Because I want you to understand that the people that have been yelling the loudest, you know what I mean? They say true confidence and true self-esteem and things of those nature is not loud, right? Insecurity is loud. True security and confidence is what it is. And you see that each and every time, right? Watch this. Y'all ready? So now, recently, Suge Knight had came out. We know he did the deal involving his life rights to the film that he's going to be producing and so on and so forth. You know, writing a book with Nick Cannon and speaking on Ray J, doing some music for him. But the press had got it mixed up. So Suge had to come out and basically confirm as to what was correct and what was incorrect involving his situation. And this goes into the power of attorney. And it's crazy because, now that he's in prison, he gave somebody the power of attorney, just like Tupac, being in prison and getting out and giving somebody the power of attorney. But this is where this gets important, because it shows you who had the power and so on and so forth, and how Tupac was not actually signed to Death Row, just like I said, but was recording under the Death Row entity, right? Based on the fact of the bail agreement and his original 1993 contract. Listen, Suge Knight. The former CEO of Death Row Records wanted to clear up an erroneous report that he had signed over his life rights to singer Ray J, effectively putting him in charge of all aspects of Knight's rights to publicity and future business ventures. Ray J, Suge said, Ray J is a little brother and family, Knight said, following up that he respects the One Wish singer immensely, which is why he definitely wanted to get him involved with the business. However, Knight explained that he chose Ray J to only handle everything concerning Death Row Records and the future music coming out of Death Row. And that wouldn't be the Death Row that Snoop now owns. That would be the new Death Row Records. Listen to this, very important. Knight has chosen his fiancée, Tory Lynn Kelly, as the power of attorney to handle deals for movies, TV, and documentaries. Tory Lynn is also in charge of Knight's medical decisions. You get it? See, the power of attorney, right, is the person who has the power to execute on behalf of the other person or the artist in the business and so on and so forth. And in Suge's case, his fiance has the right to actually decide what happens involving his medical decisions, as she should, right? And so now, when you understand what that means in relation to the Tupac situation, you'll understand who had control and who Tupac was actually signed to. It was Interscope. And Interscope basically guaranteed, since Atlantic Records had put up the bail guarantee, that they would get their money back based on the fact that Tupac was still signed to them and they could guarantee that, right? As a matter of fact, Suge's fiance then released a statement in regards to that and basically said, as Suge's power of attorney, I am currently and actively engaged in negotiation in regards to Suge's movie projects, documentary, and television series projects, and working with Nick Cannon in regards to Suge's book. Those involved know who they are and are directly in communication with me daily. We'd respectfully ask those creating confusion and recklessly stating otherwise to please refrain from doing so moving forward. You get it? So that shows you right there, not only is it confirmation, but it is verification who Tupac Shakur was actually signed to. Most people will say, well, why is that important? It's important because of the legacy, because of the truth, because of the facts, and understanding the totality and what went on. And so we can stop being lied to and misled in regards to the life and times of my late friend Tupac Shakur. But I'm going to give you one more part, right? So now, once again, how was Interscope able to guarantee and give Atlantic, or allow Atlantic to come in and have part of the power of attorney in regards to Tupac Shakur? I'm going to show you why. You understand what I'm saying? See, once again, like I told you, they told you a lot of things that it wasn't true, right? But I'm going to give it to you right now. Now, this information and the reason why it could happen is based on Tupac's November 13th, 1993 contract that he signed between Interscope and Out the Gutter Records, right? As a successor in the interest to TNT Records. Like I told you before, Tupac had took over, and basically he didn't fire his old management. He actually bought his old management out, right? He paid them. Y'all go ahead. I'm good. Now I'm going to take over. I got my own label. I got my own new manager. I got my own new team and my own new label, which was Out the Gutter Records. Remember, Tupac was signed to his own label when he got out of jail. He was not signed to Death Row. And that's another reason why it's very important. Tupac was signed contractually, legally to Out the Gutter Records. The paperwork confirms it. But let me give you this. So now, how was Interscope able to guarantee that Atlantic would get paid based on this agreement? Now, once again, I go back to the last page of that agreement. And in the first couple of pages, it was dealing with all of the intricacies, right? And what it was based on, the contract, so on and so forth, the publishing, Interscope's publishing, Tupac's publishing, and all of those things dealing with how they would derive the income to basically pay, Atlantic back. So when they put up the corporate guarantee. But this last paragraph, once again, I'm going to read it for you one last time, and then I'm going to be done with this, because you're going to know that the people that have been spouting the lies as if they knew about the business of Tupac Shakur, they've been lying to you. They've been misstating the facts, right? Listen to this, because once again, they want you to believe something. And the reason why they want you to believe what they're saying is because they were wrong. And if you know that they were wrong about the one thing that was the most important thing about who Tupac was signed to, who paid the bail and so on, then you would have to question everything else that they said and the things that they say they had knowledge of, right? The last paragraph of the agreement in relation to the November 13th, 1993 contract of Tupac Shakur and what he had with ODG Records, which was the record company that he was signed to when he got out of prison. Please listen to this one more time. Except as specifically modified herein, the recording agreement shall be unaffected and shall remain in full force and effect. When was this document signed? The document was signed on October 5th, 1995. In relation to the agreement that Tupac had signed, basically the deal points that he had signed with Suge, that was in September 15th, 1995. The reason why they came behind that, because that didn't mean anything. This was signed in October. And this, once again, like I said, voided out that Dannemora agreement, which was the little 5-page handwritten agreement, right? You get it? So now you know why, to the young man from Iowa, why Atlantic and not Death Row was allowed to participate in the power of attorney involving Tupac Shakur when he got out of jail. Now you know from the document that was read that all of this information had to be shown to the judge in court before it could be agreed upon. Now you know that Death Row had nothing to do with Tupac being released from prison. These are the facts. These are legal documents. This is not hearsay. This is not conjecture. This is not innuendo. These are the facts. Your boy DELRAY, case closed. Straight game.